Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, East Bay Stamp Chick. This is Michelle. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Today's video is to showcase the March release for Sweet and Sassy Stamps. So I have the full release here. I have the cards that I made that I have been posting on social media, and some of the extra pieces that I used to make these cards as well. So let me show you the release. Sweet and Sassy Stamps is a faith-based company, so a lot of their products might have sentiments or themes that are faith-based, but not everything. They do have a lot of basic things that you could use for card making and journaling. They do specialize in a creative worship line that is like geared towards Bible journaling or faith-based junk journaling, all that type of stuff. So I'm on the card making team, but I do occasionally do some Bible journaling. If you watch my, or not watch, but if you are following me on Instagram, then sometimes you will see some pages for that as well. Okay, so first up is this stamp set right here called Dearest Friend. You can tell I've already used these. I've already made my cards, so they are stained. They don't actually, quite look like this when you get them, but really pretty floral with a few really nice sentiments. Then there is this one called The Lord is Near, and these are all faith-based sentiments. Now, they are in the process of changing the name from Sweet and Sassy Stamps, which you see right here, Sweet and Sassy Stamps, to Creative Worship Stamps. Just because, so much of their product line is faith-based, they're thinking that that might be kind of a better name than Sweet and Sassy, which, they started their company, I think, over 15 years ago, and I think things were a lot more cutesy then, product-wise, than they are now. So we have some really great sentiments in this one. Worship through the pain, the Lord gives strength to the weak. Some of them are scripture-based with the reference to the scripture. Then there was this one, and this one is called Itty Bitty Silhouette Blossoms. So it is silhouette stamps, and you might feel like they look a little like they need more detail to them. There is a matching existing stamp set that you can buy. You can get this in a bundle if you want. It's the Itty Bitty Blossom stamp set. So this one I've had for quite a while. They came out with this one, I think in 2018, yeah. So this basically becomes two-step stamping. You've got the outline stamps on here and the silhouette stamps here. You can use them together or separately, your choice, because you can layer some of these silhouette stamps to make your floral arrangements. And of course your leaves don't have to have the outline stamp to look like a leaf. So your choice on how you want to use them. So you can get this as a bundle or separately. So I already had the outline stamps in my collection. So we got the silhouette stamps. And then there was this really cool background. And this one is called Messy Marks Background. They do have a lot of really fun background stamps. Some are really pretty, some of them just really fun, really versatile. So this was a really cool one to add to the collection. And then this actually is an out of the vault stamp set, meaning that it was previously released and had been discontinued, and due to some popular demand was brought back, and it's called Sunshine and Flowers. It was a kind of like a mid-month release. Usually the release is at the beginning of the month for Sweet and Sassy. So this video is a little bit late, but I finally got all my cards made, and so I didn't want to do it when I didn't have very many cards made. So this stamp set was originally from 2014, so there are people who may have this already in your stash. So it is back out available. So those are all the new items that came out for the month. So very floral, very spring, themed release, which I think is great. I know not everybody has spring weather yet, but we're all thinking about spring, I'm sure. And so with Easter around the corner, I think spring is, what everyone's got on their brain. All right, so those were the new items. Let me show you the cards that I made. So this one right here, and actually these two kind of go together. We used I used the new Dearest Friend flower, and this one is from Dearest Friend. The sentiments are from the Lord is Near set, okay? And then the Messy Marks background. So I did that on both. I know the yellow might be kind of hard to see on camera. You can kind of see it there. But basically I just used coordinating colored cardstock with my ink and stamped that on there. So what I did do that's kind of different is the way I created these panels here. I used an existing die set that they already have. This one right here. And I think it's called Stitched Rectangles. So it's a variety of different sizes of stitched rectangles. And I used this big panel. So I die cut this big panel, laid it onto my card at the angle I wanted, and cut it around the edge of the card. And then the piece that was left over, one of the pieces that was left over, because basically it kind of goes like this, I used on this card. And then there were some little tiny pieces that I just threw away. So I took one panel and used it on 2 cards. So I thought that turned out pretty cool. I really like the way they look. And I love the way that just kind of pops in off the edge there. I think that's really cool. And just added some sequins from my stash to add some bling to those. All right. So this one uses the itty bitty blossoms, the silhouettes, and the outline stamping to create all the little flowers. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to bring over the stencil. This is the itty bitty heart stencil in the background. And I used one color of ink that I just sometimes pressed harder than other times to kind of create a light pink to like almost a red color. And I did add some little like Nuvo drops on the flowers. Basically, I used the silhouette stamping to color in the lined stamping. And then the sentiment is from the Dearest Friend stamp set. And this little lady right here, let me show you. It is from this set right here. This one is called Girl Power number 2 and gives you a whole bunch of different faces with different types of hair, some shoulders, different eyes, and there's some earrings. There's a couple of different lips and eyeglasses to create a person with. And what's really cool is there's actually another set called Girl Power, the original set, and it's all mix and match. So you can take eyes and glasses from either set, lips, you know, shoulders, anything like that. There's a headband, the little hat here. You can mix and match all of that together to make people. And they actually have one for men as well. So these are really cool sets that I think are fun to work with. So my card says, thinking of you, dearest friend, and just like the flowers coming off of her, was like her thoughts of her friend, you know, all those wonderful thoughts. So made that one. This one again uses both the itty bitty blossom silhouettes. So all the leaf stamping that I did around here does not have any outline. It's just a silhouette, and then the flowers and a few of the leaves coming off this little center scallop circle that has both the silhouette and the line stamping. And then for the center, I did use these scallop stitched circle die to create the center circle. And then again, the sentiment is from the Dearest Friend stamp set. Okay. And with Easter around the corner, I did do this card right here. And again, we have the Dearest Friend flowers that I colored in with alcohol markers. And then I mixed it with this set right here, which is the Scripture Crosses stamp set. So you have 2 different crosses and these really great swirls to use. So those would make really nice Easter cards. And again, this is the stitched scallop rectangle that I showed you earlier. I use that one a lot. That's a really great die, very versatile. Did a little bit of ink blending. I don't know if you can see the light blue ink blending I put in a couple of areas, kind of along the edges. So I did that one. This one's one of my favorites. Again, I used the Stitch Scallop background die panel and the Stitch Circle for the Stitch Circle die, sorry, for the sentiment. Okay, there is a stencil I used in the background as well, so let me show you. It's called the Leaf Branch Stencil. It is a well-loved stencil. If you saw this in person, there's all kinds of stains that just don't come off, but I use this one a lot. So it's called the Leaf Branch Stencil. That's a really great stencil to have in your stash. Super versatile. And then she has basic stitch circles, and they do pair up with the scalloped ones, and you can get them separately or you can buy them in a bundle. So it's kind of nice because these fit perfectly on top of the scalloped ones, and you get to see the stitched edge from both. The stamp set on this one is a favorite of mine. Let me bring that one out to show you. And this one is called In This Together. Has a really some really great sentiments that are unique. It does have like Happy Mother's Day, but it has can't wait to hug you, we're in this together, I'm praying for you, sending you my love, it's going to be okay, miss you so much, what a blessing you are to me, can't wait to get together soon. I know things are hard right now, but it's going to get better. And it's got this really great tea cup with the flowers, teapot, and then just the floral spray. So I used that floral spray that I colored with alcohol ink markers. And the sentiment is from the Lord is Near, the brand new stamp set. Yet I will trust in Him. So that is right here. So I did that card. This one, again, same sentiment set, the Lord is Near. And I forgot to show, to bring over to show, there are some butterfly dies that she has. And they actually go with a stamp set, but instead of just stamping out the butterfly, I just used the die and ink blended some different colored inks onto it. So that's the Begin Again stamp and die set. Then I used that leaf branch stencil here, and I also used, this one's fairly new, this is the arched window stencil, and there's actually a die available as well if you want to get them both, or you can get it separately. But I like this big arch. You'll see that frequently on my cards since it came out. I really enjoy using that. And then I, paired it with the leaf branch stencil again because I love it. So a lot of white around the edge, which I think is really crisp, and like the look of that. And there's sequins from my stash. This one I used the Dearest Friend flowers, used my alcohol ink markers to color those. The same stitched circles, one with the scallop and one plain. And then the chicken wire stencil, which is another favorite of mine, well loved. So that's a good basic to have as well. And really nice in the background, just kind of in a gray ink. And then some sequins from my stash for bling. And then this one is, finally we're getting into some with the Sunshine and Flowers stamp set. I just stamped it in each corner and then did some quick ink blending over it. This is stamped with a black ink and a clear embossing powder on top to give it a little bit of a raised finish. And then did that ink blending on top. Used those stitch circle and scalloped dies again with that sentiment, and then stamped on there from the stamp set, so that way it kind of mimics it. Okay, so there's some, I used the loose flowers that are not part of the big floral motif there. And then wishing you a lovely day. So that was a really quick and easy card, but I like the way that turned out. And again, I used the Sunshine and Flowers, and I just did multiple stamping from a light to a medium to a dark purple lavender ink with some ink blending on the edges. The Lord is Near stamp set provided the sentiment and added my sequins. I kind of wish I had done some ink splatter on here, and I think I meant to and I forgot to do it, and then once it was already like put together I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. So ink splatter would have been fun. But otherwise, really simple card. Love all the kind of lavender purples there. And this is one of my favorites because I love that kind of like a sunrise or sunset ink blending in the background, using that arched window stencil again, and then just stamped out the big motif with one of the sentiments and didn't color it in. Lots of white around the edges and then the silver sequins on there. I really think that turned out great, and I like that style, and it's super easy. So that was one of my favorites as well. And then again, I did that same thing where I stamped in each corner, but I did colored ink this time. Sentiment was from the Lord is Near stamp set, along with those same circle, stitch circle dies and scalloped edge ones, and then some sequins. I did that ink blending. So I thought, trying to like play off of the blue, like instead of just doing blue on blue, I thought the orange would kind of really make it pop more. So I did kind of the orange edge, just something different. I don't normally do anything like that. so different for me. Okay, so those were my cards this month for Sweet and Sassy Stamps. So I believe that is 12 cards for them for this month. You've seen some of them on Instagram if you follow me there. And this is their new release. So lots of really good, fun items there. This is part of the permanent collection. So even though this is being filmed towards the end of the month, these items are available in their shop, sweetandsassstamps.com. You can find them there. All right, so thanks so much for hanging out with me for a little bit and checking out my projects. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.